Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to more 428 Shibuya Scramble. My name is Raven from the Sky, and let's continue. Kano had been watching syndicate members hand off the attaché case for an hour and a half. He still had no idea where this relay might be headed. The man he was tailing now was about 10 meters away, close enough that Kano could close the distance and apprehend him at a moment's notice. But his orders remained the same: follow and observe. He watched as the case was handed off once more. By now, the shock of seeing it pass to yet another compass had worn off. It's already been 90 minutes, huh? It was Sasayama at some point. He crept up on Kano from behind. They don't seem like they're trying to get away at all, Kano said. They're just walking. What could they be up to? Yeah, it's weird. Kano recalled Dictum number 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. If Tatino's wisdom held true, the syndicate must have some reason for what it was doing. Were they just trying to throw the investigators off their scent? No, that couldn't be it. They were wandering in circles, staying right in the same area. They were just running up the clock. What if that's exactly what they were after? Buying time. They needed more time to make sure they got their hands on the ransom payment. Wait, hold on. Could it be that? The real case had already been switched out. The ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore. Both of these seems viable, right? No, it can't be B because I feel like we would have seen it. I'm gonna go with A. Could it be that the real case had already been switched out? It made a certain amount of sense. By handing the case off to one accomplice after another, they were leading the detectives to pay more attention to the individuals than the case itself. That could enable them to swap the case while all the focus was elsewhere. I see. I mean, it's a possibility. Yeah, we might be following the wrong case. There's palpable tension in the air now. Kano, you gotta report it into Kuze. On it. Kano's hand flashed to his wireless. But Kuze was dismissive. No, that's the case, I assure you. No offense, sir, but how can you be sure? Because that's my job. There's an ID tag in that case that allows us to keep tabs on it. There's no way these crooks could have whipped up a duplicate. ID tag? What ID tag? Wait, no. That's right. Kano had forgotten all about that detail in the wake of his all-nighter. Oh, right. Don't you? Oh, right, me. Clearly you weren't hired for your brains. Focus on what you're good at. Kuze ended the call. Still, Kano couldn't shake his conviction that something was off. The man with the attaché case made his way back to Shibuya Station. The heck? He's right back where we started. Oh my god, frustration is growing. It honestly looked like the syndicate was just randomly lugging the case around town. Near Shibuya Station, a girl approached the suspect. She was Japanese and entirely unlike any of the other criminal accomplices. She spoke to the man while showing him something on a notepad. The moments he had left her behind. It looked like she just passed him a message. Well, that's sure fishy, someone muttered. What the girl asked Kano. Yeah, I want to go hit her up. Sasayama could only mean one thing, questioning her. Yeah, let's go see what she knows. She can't be involved with this, can she? Excuse me, miss, we'd like to ask you a few. Are you happy with your life? The young woman shouted. She thrust her notepad in Kano's face. Tell me things. Tell me this. Are you happy with your life right now? Huh? Girl's item right in surprise as if she hadn't expected the two men to actually stop and listen. Right now, sir, she continued more quietly, are you happy? The more she spoke, the more flustered she became. Sasayama stepped in. Hey, I need to know, did you speak with that Western fellow just now? Huh? No. That isn't what I'm asking. Sir, are you happy with your life right now? Are you happy with your life right now? Kano got a sinking feeling in his stomach. This kid was looking for religious converts or something. You did speak with him, didn't you? What did you tell him? The girl's rambling abruptly ceased. Her already ruddy face went even redder, and tears swelled up in her eyes. Poor kid, Kano thought. She's just out here trying to get people to listen to her survey questions. There's no way she's part of this kidnapping plot. Look, miss. For the time being, would be a good idea for you to leave the area. Afraid I'm not at liberty to explain. The girl's only response was to start sobbing outright. I can't do this anymore. I want to go home. I want to go home. Passerby began shooting curious looks at the trio. Kano, you get back to work. I'll escort this girl to the train station. He didn't quite manage to stifle the embarrassment. Right. He hurried away, his eyes already searching for the suspect they'd been tailing. Didn't take long to find him. The man's black garb made him stand out in the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Kano that all of the criminals who'd handled the attache case had been wearing the same black clothing. The fact made the whole situation wider. Here. It was more likely they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. I still didn't provide any clues as to what they were even after thought. Was it really such a good idea to keep this up? Someone's life was in danger, and they were listening. The very first page of the Dick Diary spelled things loud and clear on that form. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. Right now, the single most important thing was ensuring the hostage's safety. This was a situation where Tatino would have stuck to his guns for sure. Kano thought back to that day 3 years ago. A burglar had shut himself inside a financial office and doused the place in gasoline. Kano had just been put on police box duty and was ordered to the scene because his box was just down the street from the standoff. Nobody's assigned to a detective post right after graduating from the Police Academy. Detective positions can be quite hard to come by. Candidates are selected for detective training only after accumulating enough experience working at a local police box. A very small type of neighbors manned by only a handful of officers. Several officers had surrounded the building, keeping close tabs on the situation. The suspects were shouting nonsense through the entrance on the first floor. Things were getting heated. A crowd of alarmed onlookers had started to form as well. "Step aside," a voice said suddenly from amidst the throng. A middle-aged man in a rumpled business suit had approached Kano as he hovered nervously on the date. "I'm sorry, sir," Kano said. "You have to stay back for your own safety." He attempted to usher the man back into the crowd. "I'm Detective Tano from the Shibuya Precinct. What's the situation?" "Oh, sir." Kano stammered, then quickly explained. "Hasn't taken anyone hostage, but there are still people on the upper floors of the building." Plastic container of gasoline the suspect had used was on the ground out front. Tatino picked up and dumped the remaining contents out over his head. "I've covered myself in gasoline too," Tatino. "I've covered myself in gasoline too," Tatino called out from the entryway. The tension in the air reached. "Hey, what the heck do you think you're doing?" Kano heard the burglar shouting from inside. "If you're gonna do it, Tatino called out. "We can die together." He walked into the building. Tatino was talking to the burglar, but Kano couldn't make out the words. The crook was clutching a lighter in his hand, trembling. His expression was like... Tatino slowly approached him and took firm hold of his shaking hand. The onlooker erupted into cheers and applause. Tatino handed the low dark-eyed suspect over to Ra. It was like something ripped straight out of a police drama. That was amazing. You have to deal with guys like that as quickly as you can. Spoke quietly, almost as if he was talking to himself. As the police evacuated the rest of the building, Kano noticed that there were children and elderly people among them. The perp had managed to set off the fire. There was no way they could have escaped in time. But I mean, what if he'd actually set the place on fire? If someone's willing to risk their life, you're not going to convince them of anything unless you do the same. Besides, civil servants tended to stay afloat in times of recession, and this time playing rugby meant that he was in good physical shape for the job. He never really thought too much about protecting the citizenry or keeping out of the peace. There. Police officer never loses sight of what he's supposed to protect, ever. Getting back to his feet, Tatino tugged off his gasoline-drenched coat and walked away. Kano wrote in the words in a notebook just purchased, thus the Dick Diary was born. So that's the origins of the diary. And getting back to the way Tatino had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers made Kano letting the crooks just wander around wasn't going to bring Maria Asao to safety. Of that, Kano was now certain. Shoot. He's bleeding pretty bad. You hear someone say behind him. Turned and saw two young men carrying another. There's a towel wrapped tightly around the third's head. Hey, what happened? Shut your mouth. Candy attitude. He was just trying to help. Another voice cut in. It was Sasayama. Had he finished dealing with the girl by the station then? What happened to your friend? Out of my way, man. I ain't afraid to kick your butt. Look, cut the crap and let me take a quick look. Sasayama unwrapped the towel from around the young man's head. Oh, that's nasty. His head was soaked with red. Okay, they couldn't just leave him like this. They were in the middle of a job. They should probably just call juvenile affairs. In the middle of a job, they couldn't just leave him like this. They should probably take him to a hospital. Oh crap, you're a cop. Sasayama nodded. Who you kids with? The Bamps? SOS? Admitted one of the young men after some hesitation. SOS. Who attacked you? Yo, it ain't like that. What was it like then? In fighting, the young man was silent. Sasayama must have been right on the mark. In the course of his police duties, Kano picked up a fair amount of secret gossip from the young people in Shibuya. Lately, the scuttlebutt about the legendary SOS gang was that they were dealing with some internal strife. But don't worry about it, I get it. There's a hospital just down the way. Hurry up and get him there. The young man batted off. He kept his eyes on the young man as it headed off. It seems like it's been pretty rough. You know, what with the original leader leaving and all, detectives in juvenile affairs are well acquainted with SOS' original leader. That would be Aichi Endo. Initially, SOS was nothing more than a small group of like-minded young people who hung out together. As its membership grew, the general public began referring to the group as a gang. Word. tales of them taking down gangs who sold drugs to kids or breaking into Yakuza front offices to save their friends. Detectives with juvenile affairs took these stories with a grain of salt. But if there really were young people like that out there, Kano hope to meet one of them someday. Detectives had to hurry to catch up with the man they were tailing. He was still strolling along, seemingly in no particular hurry. He kept them in sight as he crossed another pedestrian overpass and circled back around. Still following the same Mo, huh? Mo? Guess so. How things go with the girl? Managed to calm her down and get her on a train. She was going about how she wanted to go someplace far, far away, but whatever, it's all good now. Feel kind of bad about the whole thing. Well, she's not pre-intent to the case, anyhow. Guess it's back to the dodging. This guy. So, Sasayama, I'm thinking the Itachi case is going to get handed off again any moment now, huh? Sasayama appeared at the mark. It was scanning the plaza he just entered, apparently looking for someone. Take one side, you take the other. Yes, went wide. And so what now? That we may apprehend both perps involved with the handoff? Look, HQ isn't thinking about the hostage's safety. Kano said. But that needs to take priority here. Disobeying a direct order. And after a moment, he nodded. I'm on board. Sick of all this wandering around anyway. That's to say, Sasayama, I know. Kano replied with a chuckle. Sasayama gave him a silent thumbs up. Okay. Two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. You ready? Just give the word. Only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place, and then, well, if it isn't Mr. Toyama. Kano's ears perked up at the sound of an aggressive greeting, the voice dripping with frightened cheer. He whirled around to see two rough-looking young men confronting a father and his daughter. The older man looked painted. Please, just hold on, he said. Platingly. Thought we agreed on 4 o'clock. The young man snarled. Don't you try and play dumb with us, buddy. Nothing like that, I swear. My girl was just hungry, so I stepped out to... Yeah. How come you didn't just say, just order delivery? Ah, yes, right. I suppose that would work, too. Don't you... Haha, me, man. Kano watched the argument uneasily as the stranger's altercation put him in a bit spot. The crook he was tailing probably wouldn't risk handing off the case with an uproar like this going on. What's going on over there? Sasayama asked. I'm not sure. Looks like some kind of argument. Suspects are gonna get wary on this. It's gonna screw up the whole handoff. Yeah, I know. So do something about it and get over here. What? Find some way to shut them up and then get over here. Oh, sure. All right. He was only Hey, he made a run for it. Huh? Oh crap. The man they'd been tailing had vanished. For a brief time, Kano had taken his eyes off him. Wait up! Asayama was racing after the suspect. Kano rushed to join him. The man was surprisingly quick, however. Neither detective managed to catch up. In fact, blah blah blah. Frantically, they dashed through the streets as fast as hard as they could. Bad ending. We lost him. Darn it. He stamped with his foot on the asphalt in disgust. Director Kuze? Kano gasped over the wireless. I'm sorry, but we lost the man with the attaché case. It was a heavy sigh on the other end of the line. Kano braced himself. He wasn't going to be able to weasel out of this one with just, I'll do better next time. Sasayama. Kano, get your butts back to the precinct. Kuze out. With that, Kuze switched off the line. Back to the precinct. Kano knew full well what that meant. They were off the case. There was a gnawing in his gut. Those two punks hadn't showed up. Oh, there's the soundtrack. So we had to go back to, what's his name, and tell him to stay in place. Oh, don't let it get you down, Sayam said. I mean, paper pushing can be kind of fun. The look on his face, however, suggested he didn't think it was fun. Not at all, not one bit. They have two men heading to an execution. Kano and Sayama trudged back towards Shibuya Precinct. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name is Raven from the Sky. If you enjoyed the episode, drop a like and subscribe to help the channel and the series grow. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.